Welcome to Module 2 of the Pre-Employment Orientation Seminar or Peos for the Skilled Workers, entitled Your Job Search. There is no substitute for doing it right for the first time. Your search for job overseas must begin with the right way and the legal way, of course. This means dealing only with the duly authorized recruitment agencies. The Department of Migrant Workers issues a license to recruitment agencies, giving it the authority to recruit and deploy Filipino overseas. The role of the recruitment agency in the employment of a Filipino overseas is crucial to ensure the strict implementation of the employment contracts. The DMW does not encourage direct hiring, as the employers have no local representatives to answer for any problems that may arise during the workers' employment abroad. The first step for your job search is to look for a legitimate and licensed recruitment agency. To make sure that you're dealing with a duly licensed recruitment agency, you have to check the status by logging in into the www.dmw.gov.ph or by downloading the DMW mobile app. You will identify if the agency has a valid license or its license has been suspended, canceled, or delisted. Make sure you only deal with agencies with a valid license. Make sure also that the agency has also an approved job order for the position you are applying for. Just check the DMW website. When applying through a recruitment agency, have the following documents be ready. First, the birth certificate issued by the Philippine Statistics Office. For married women, you have to obtain for the PSA copy of your marriage contract. For Muslim applicants, you need a certification from the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos or NCMF. You also need to have your transcript of school records and diploma authenticated and verified by the Department of Education or Commission on Higher Education or the CHED. Training certificates from TESDA or TESDA accredited training centers for you to prove that you are competent enough to work on a certain skill. When you receive the good news that the employer has selected you, proceed to the following. First, read and carefully study the employment contract presented to you by the recruitment agency. If you agree to all the provisions, then sign it. Number 2, undergo a medical examination in a DOH accredited clinic of your choice. Submit the result to the agency. And third, attend the Departure Orientation Seminar or PDOS in any OWA accredited PDOS provider and get your certificate of attendance. Submit them to the agency. At this point, the agency will submit all your documents to the DMW and then the DMW will issue an Overseas Employment Certificate or OEC. If you want to work with available positions at the Government Placement Branch, you may also check at the DMW Government Placement Branch. Foreign governments with special recruitment programs deal directly with the DMW for their manpower requirements. For example, South Korea's employment permit system for factory workers in the manufacturing industry. Japan's Philippine or Japan Economic Partnership Agreement, PJEPA, for nurses and caregivers. Germany's Triple Win Project for nurses. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Health nurses, radiologists, and other medical health workers. Applicants for GBP clients must register online through DMW's website e-registration facility in the DMW website. Here with the GBP, the following documents must be ready. First, birth certificate issued by the PSA. Second, marriage contract issued by the PSA for female applicants. Third, certification from the NCMF for Muslim applicants. Fourth, transcript of records or diploma authenticated and verified by DepEd or CHED. Fifth, training certificate from TESDA accredited training centers. Sixth, 2 pieces passport size or 2x2 pictures. Seventh, 6 pieces passport size or 2x2 pictures for Ministry of Health of Saudi applicants. Eighth, certificates of employment of at least 2 years experience in one position. Ninth, passport for applicants with overseas job experience. In addition to that, if you're a professional license, you may also provide your valid PRC ID, board examination rating, and postgraduate diploma. Thereafter, have your medical examination in a DOH accredited clinic of your choice as well as to do the following. First, attend the PDOS or Pre-Departure Orientation Seminar conducted by OWA at the DMW building and get your certificate of attendance. Second, submit the medical result and PDOS certificate of attendance to GPD. Third, obtain your overseas employment certificate. There are also other sources that you may have your job search. There's a possibility that you may get a job leads for overseas work on your own without participating of a third party or a recruitment agency. But you have to read this carefully. Great care must be exercised when considering this option. If you happen to secure a job on your own, your employer abroad must do the following. First, prepare an employment contract in your name and submit it to the POLO or Philippine Overseas Labor Office or the Philippine Embassy for verification and authentication. Second, apply for your work permit or work visa. Third, the employer must send you the verified authenticated contract together with a round-trip airline ticket and the payment for the processing fees. On the other hand, you need to do this. First, submit the verified authenticated employment contract and work permit visa for evaluation to the DMW Name Hire Assistance Division at 2nd floor, Das Ople Building, Ortigas Avenue, corner EDSA, Mandaluyong City. Second, if required, undergo the medical examination at DOH Clinic. Obtain a copy of your medical certificate. Third, attend PDOS conducted by OWA at the POEE and obtain a certificate of attendance. Fourth, return to the Name Hire Assistance Division with medical certificate and PDOS certificate. And 5, pay the POEA processing fee to obtain your Overseas Employment Certificate or OEC. Now, let's talk about your Overseas Employment Certificate or the OEC. Your OEC is your proof that you are a documented overseas worker. It is also the proof that you pay the processing fees at the DMW. It is valid for 2 months from the date of issuance, which means the agency should deploy you within this period. This can be used also as your travel exit clearance at the airport for departure. And this is the document that will exempt you from paying the travel tax and the terminal fee. Remember, you will only be entitled to the full protection of the law and enjoy the benefits of the program and services of the government if you are a documented OFW. This is the end of the Module 2 and see you on the next module.